Hi, today I'm going to give you 5 tips on things you can do for your client even when you can't help them. Hi, I'm Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide Series Premium Private Investigator Training from someone who's been there and done that. If you're an investigator, you've probably had this problem before. If you're coming into the business, you should be prepared for it. What do you do when you get a client, a potential client, they're on the phone, and you're just not going to be able to help them for one reason or another? Well, number one, you don't take their money. Don't take the case. Don't take a retainer if you know you're not going to end up being able to help them. This sounds basic and elementary. If you say to yourself, well, that only makes sense, then good. You have that ethical bone in your body to recognize that. Not all detective agencies feel that way. There are ones who will take a retainer and tell a person, we'll see what we can do. But if you can't help your client, don't take their money. The number 2 tip that I can give for you is offer them a referral to another agency, another private investigation agency, another detective agency. If you're not able to help them, maybe steer them towards someone who has an expertise in the specialty that they need. My number 3 tip is tell the truth to the client. Now here's what's going to happen, and I can tell you this based on lots of experience. A perfect example of the type of call you'll get is from a parent whose daughter is dating a man or a guy that they do not approve of. And they know this guy has an extensive criminal history, and he's got some baby mamas out there and all these types of things. And they want to do a background check because they know if they can show their daughter the history of this guy, maybe he's done some time, whatever it might be, that will open her eyes and she will leave him and pursue a healthy relationship with someone else. The truth of the matter is there is no piece of evidence, no piece of background information that you're going to be able to bring to him or that he's going to be able to present to her that will change her mind. You can find out that the guy was in prison for years for a horrible offense. She may not even know that. But when she's approached with this information by her father, she may be shocked, but she'll go to the boyfriend and he will say whatever story he might give her. They got the wrong guy, or the woman was crazy and she set me up, or, yeah, I did that, I was a bad guy back then, but I've changed and now I've reformed my ways. It would never happen with you. He's going to have a story for her. She's going to believe it. So there's nothing you're going to be able to bring to the table that's going to really help your client, your potential client, this father out with his daughter. Now, if knowing all of that, he still insists and still wants the information, then there's no problem with that. But allowing him to think that you're going to bring him some dirt that's going to change her mind, that's not going to happen. Let me give you another example here. A classic example. You'll get a call from frequently a woman, but a woman or a man who wants to get a divorce because their spouse is being unfaithful, and they want you to get the video evidence so that they can bring that to court. Well, in my state and in many states, for better or for worse, no pun intended, there's no fault divorce. Here, the judge does not care one bit about who's spending time with who or what's going on. They file a no-fault divorce. That's not going to help them at all. I'll tell a potential client that I can get this for you, but it's not going to help you in court. Here's another classic example. Someone will call me up and they'll want surveillance. They'll want somebody followed. And, surveillance is a rather pricey thing. Most agencies are going to charge at least $65 or $85 an hour. I always have a 3-hour minimum. I joke with people that I don't answer the phone for less than $200, and really more than that. But as you talk to them, what you'll find out is they don't really want a surveillance. What they want to know is where the person is staying. They want an address. They're really looking for a skip trace, which is usually much less expensive than a surveillance. So if I got a client and this is a legitimate circumstance, they are convinced that's the only way to find out where the person's staying. I know from vast experience that there are many other quicker, more economical ways to do that. So I will not let a client hire me for surveillance if they really just need a skip trace. Now, If they still want the surveillance, so be it. I'll give them the surveillance. And don't get me wrong, a skip trace can really help you if you have to do a surveillance. Knowing where the person's going to land can make your surveillance a lot easier. But again, I'm not gonna let a client hire me at the great expense of a surveillance only because they need an address. The fourth piece of advice that I'm going to give to you, that I would give to a client, is hire an attorney first. In other words, don't, especially in these type divorce cases. I'm not giving legal advice. I don't know legal things. If you think cheating, footage of your spouse cheating on you is going to help you in court, go to an attorney first. He or she is going to be able to tell you what you really need from an investigator to make your case stronger. So if you can't help a client, send them to an attorney first, and then have the attorney contact you, and you're going to be able to then perhaps still pick up the case. You might pick up a new law firm that you can do work for, and still you've done the right thing. You've done the ethical thing by not taking this person's money in a circumstance that's not going to help them. Number 5, this kind of wraps it all up. Remain honorable. If you can't help the client, remain honorable. Do not break the law. You're going to get hard luck stories. You're going to get people who are in seriously bad shape. And the idea that nobody will help them, that there's no justice in this world. And there may be times when you're tempted to say, nobody else is taking care of this circumstance, this situation, I'm going to step up and take care of it. It's kind of in a gray area, or maybe it's completely over the line illegal. But, you know, this really needs to be taken care of. This needs to be done. Don't do it. If you're breaking the law, you're not doing the right thing. There are ways to help within the framework of the law, so stay honorable. And I'm going to give you a bonus tip here. You can take it for what you think it's worth. I would say pray for that potential client. I'm a big believer in prayer. I believe prayer works. And I can say that even if I can't help them, I've tried to direct them where they need to go. Maybe I've referred them to another agency. I've suggested to them to get an attorney. I've given them the real skinny, the real information on their particular circumstance and what may or may not help them. That's all I can do for them on the phone to help them out. But when I hang up, I definitely say a prayer for them. I want things to go well for them and for everybody around them as well. This is Larry K, shadowanyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.